Hello, everyone, and good morning. Welcome to the Market Scholar session. Apologies for starting really late. It's not in our usual style to start this late. So apologies for that. We had some technical issues, but we are now back. How are we doing? How are we? Hope our week is going well. And for those that watched yesterday's match, hope your BP is quietly recovering. All right. Techno KL4. I don't know what that is. Ayuba, welcome. Samuel Clement, welcome. Very quickly, we'll be looking at the market and then we'll be analyzing the market ourselves. All right. Let me adjust my screen so you can see it very clearly. Okay, I believe you can see my screen now. All right, so we'll be looking at US 30. It's going to be a very brief one. US 100 and also NAS 100. On US 30, we've seen it, selling to the downside on Tuesday, even on Wednesday, right? We saw that sell off to the downside. And I still maintain that I want price to come to this zone before I start looking for buys, right? I want price to come into this level and then that will give me my buy. However, that notwithstanding, we are seeing sell off, right? But price didn't return to our area of interest. For me, where will I sell this market if I see that price continues to sell off? I want to sell from this fair value gap. You see this fair value gap? I want to sell off from it, right? And then what will be my stop loss? Stop loss will be slightly above this zone. And then my take profit will be this zone here. This one here, right? So we are looking at the potential 1:3, or 1:5, depending on how you refine your setup, right? We have a sweep of this liquidity and then a sharp drop to the downside. And then we have this fair value gap. We have this other block above. So, I mean, these are good areas of confluence for the market to start selling off from. And where are we entering? Into this zone, guys. We are entering into this zone. And remember, what we are looking for in this zone is this price action, like an engineered liquidity. Although for now, everything looks really good because price has given us enough inducement, right? So if price come into this zone, this will be a plus. This will be a very good plus, right? And the price begins to push up, take out this, right? And then enters here again for it to continue. This will be a very good plus for us in the market if this eventually happens. Right? So for that reason, let's look at 30 minutes. If anything significant, nope, nothing really significant. So let's be expectant today. Price might come into this level, and from there we'll now sell off into this zone for us to continue our bullish movement. Remember, the market is still bullish. The market is still bullish. Market structure is still bullish. All right, on US 100, that's the NASDAQ. You have like this pattern that is forming on the daily time frame. Price is struggling to break above this level. Let me put the line chart. All right, somewhere around this level. Price has been proven really stubborn to break above this level, right? And we've been seeing multiple rejection. First one, this one even reached before it failed. Second one, rejection. A break above this level is strong. Engulfing candle break above this level will signify that we are ready to fly, right? We are ready for that massive flight. On the far time frame, let's look at what the market is doing. On the far time frame, price just dig into this zone. I think we had a setup previously, but not 4 hours. I'm trying to look at the time frame. Let me check properly. Okay, probably it's on S&P 500. But for the US 100, what am I seeing here today? We've seen like a structure break, a minor structure break, right? Not a major one, a minor structure break to the downside. So price could eventually still tap, it's reacting off from this other block, still go ahead, tap this other block, and then just come down a bit into this zone for it to continue. But then, since we are overall bullish, it makes sense that price violates all of these other blocks and then continue moving in its original direction, right? Does that make sense? Overall bullish. But for those that want to just catch trades from the beginning, because um this kind of move is what they call change of character. Price was following one pattern before, higher highs, higher lows, higher high, and suddenly we have like a change, like a shift, right? So it could be the beginning of something really interesting in terms of bearish sell-off, right? But then one of the things we can do also is to just be alert, so we don't enter too early and then get our hands burnt. So one of the things you can do is either wait for this setup to play out first and then wait for re-entry, meaning price does this, right? You know, this is sweep, right? A break to the downside, price comes into this and then continue, and then you now want to take from the second leg, right, to continue its movement to the downside. That could be a possibility today. So anyone you choose to do is fine, but then just be aware of the overall time frame, right? Be aware of the overall time frame. And if you're going to sell, these are areas of interest that are really valid, so you don't want to be caught off guard. Although price already tested it once, this guy, yeah, it's not as though it is fresh. Price already tapped into it once, so we could as well see like price digging again into that level. Let me see if there's any fresh zone inside. Okay, no really fresh zones inside that level. So this entire level could as well be violated because there are no fresh zones inside the levels. Okay, I think we have some. We have some actually. This and this. Like other block that has not been tested before. This and this. All right. So for that reason, if I'm going to sell off this, I'm going to sell off into this zone, the first zone here, right? And I think it's still a very, very good setup, right? Catching the sales from somewhere around here, this zone, and then selling off into 24,881.7 is a good one. It's a good one. All right, on S&P 500, on the daily time frame, we are having like a recovery, a retracement, right? You see, this is my analysis from last week. Still very much valid. Waiting for price to enter into this zone, and then with that, I can now continue my buy to the upside. On the far time frame, what are we seeing? We are seeing that price is selling temporary. We have like a temporary sell-off, right? Liquidity sweep and then break of structure to the downside. Then price is trying to, set to the downside. On the 2 hours time frame, do you have anything significant? No, not really. So is just to wait. The overall for me is to buy this market, right? To buy this market. But if I have opportunity to ride the sell, right, to the downside, definitely I'm going to do that, right? I'm going to do that. But then what I have this morning, there's no clear sell opportunity for me. I'm not seeing where to enter from on US 500. That's S&P 500. Because everywhere has mitigated here. Yes, mitigated here. Yes, mitigated here. The same here. The only zone looking as though it's good for a sell to start selling off from is this zone here. This zone, right? Then sell. Let me look at it. You short the position. 1:1 what is that? 1:5, 7. Okay, this is a good one. I mean, this is a good one. If anyone should ask me, this is a good setup. 1:5.7. You leverage $100, you're getting $579. Leverage 1K, you're getting 5,790K. Leverage 10K, you're getting 57,900. So it's a good setup for me this morning. I think I want to take it and then ride it into this zone here. Hopefully, we'll see something really massive from this trade setup. All right, so that's pretty much what we have going on this morning. If we have any questions, a good time to ask. And in absence of no question, we'll just wait for a recap by 2 p.m. GMT +1 for the New York session, where we just look at what has happened and then we can take so a few correction alignments. If it's to manage our trades, also we can do that. All right, thank you so much for joining. Oluwaseyi, Samuel, Clement once again, Techno KL4. It's nice having you. Do we have any question? Do you have any question so that we can go through them immediately? Any question whatsoever? All right. All right. I see there's no question in the chat box. All right. Thank you so much for joining. I wish you all a profitable trading. Cheers and God bless, guys.